Thank you for joining us here today at Parliament for the launch of 2 million steps. How easy is it to get?
I met Jim and Sarah at a fundraiser event in Cathedral Close in Winchester for the Murray Parish Trust, and they were inspired by what the Chancellor did with Great Ormond Street to raise money for the project that they're doing there, and they asked me whether we could do something similar for Southampton, and I said, sure, that'll be no problem. Anyway, I happened to see the Chancellor at a dinner a few weeks later and mentioned it to him, and he immediately got what I was saying and said, please put it down in a note to me, which I did, and things happened really quickly, and then in the budget he very kindly responded with the £2 million match funding, which is so brilliant.
Our journey to today is proof that politicians can and do really make a difference, and we would strongly urge any charitable body to reach out to their local MP like we did for support. And with that in mind, we'd love to thank Steve Bryan, who's helped us convince the Chancellor to match fund us £2 million, which we think is a fantastic use of the LIBOR fund. A new paediatric emergency department down at Southampton University Hospital will actually cover some 9 counties across the south of England, so it's not quite as regional as perhaps it first sounds. But we need your help. Without you, we can't do it. We need you to raise awareness, spread the word. By getting behind our campaign, 2 million steps, you really can be part of something very special and something that's very close to our hearts. Something that Sarah's going to tell you a little bit more about. Thank you.
Yes, Southampton obviously holds a very special place in our heart. It was where our first daughter, Ella Jane, spent much of her short life. And indeed, the last challenge that we did was to raise £250,000 to expand the current PQ and put in 2 new bed spaces. And I'm delighted to say that we achieved our goal at the end of last year. And the build and the expansion will start this summer. And there is somebody here today who helped us make that dream become a reality with a very, very generous donation. I'm delighted to be able to thank him in person today. George Osborne, I wonder, would you come forward just to accept?
Really, I'm here to say thank you. First of all, to say thank you to Sarah and Jim. You have been such loyal and committed supporters of our hospital for so many years. You've already made such a difference to our patients, and thanks to you, this winter our paediatric intensive care unit will be expanded and we'll be able to look after many more of the sickest children in the south of England. We've got a lot of money still to raise, but I know here that everyone here shares my belief that we can create the emergency department which our children deserve. So thank you.
When I arrived in 2010, I was shown the shell of the building that you saw in the video and was told that's what going to be the department that will be set up. And I've been looking at that department for the last 6 years, thinking when are we going to get in there? And it's a dream that I can see now coming to fruition.
Well, Steve, thank you very much. It's a delight to be here. And look, in my job, I have to make lots of tough decisions, and I have to say no to people. But in this case, this was an easy decision. This is a fantastic cause, and I want to thank everyone involved in getting us to the point where we launched the 2 Million Steps campaign, and we helped to give Southampton and indeed the whole of the south of England in that part of the country the children's facilities that are clearly needed. Our fantastic staff, our nurses, our doctors in the NHS do a brilliant job, but they need help and they need the best facilities that we can provide. And sometimes we do that, of course, out of the big NHS budget that you all contribute to, but also there's a room for charities and the campaigns and for appeals that bring the whole community together, and that is what I think you've so brilliantly done in this case. And you have engaged the local members of parliament, and you know, this frankly would not have happened if Steve had not come to me and said there's a really brilliant cause in Southampton. He was immediately supported by the other MPs in the area, like Royston, like Allen, like Mims, and around the corner there, Desmond from the New Forest, and they all got behind it. And in question after question in Parliament, when they could have asked me about anything in the country, they asked about giving creating a children's hospital, starting off with the emergency unit in Southampton. Now let's take those 2 million steps, or let's translate that, £2 million to match the £2 million that is coming from the government, and let's give the people of the south of England the facilities they need so that any parent gets the very best for their child. Thank you very much.